getting into a lot of the details we need to. But I want to just, as I give my last statement of the night, I just want to say this. You know, America is the land of opportunity. America is growing at less, frankly, organically, with folks just here, than we need to continue to be a powerful economy in the world. So this is a discussion that we have to have. It's a discussion that we're required if we're going to be in 20, 30, 40, 50 years to be the most powerful country in the world. I sure hope, I don't have kids yet, but I sure hope when I do, that my grandkids can live in a world where America is unchecked, the power in the world. They never have to worry about some of the problems that previous generations have had to worry about. But you know, this reminds me, and as I've heard folks on, frankly, the other side of the aisle that have said many times, you know, they use very emotional statements to talk about what the Republican Party believes. I've heard us called the party of no. I've heard us called, you know, taking food from the mouths of children, not caring about anybody but the rich. I've heard it all. And look, I'll admit that in some cases, in many cases, the Republican Party has not done a good job of messaging. I remember seeing an ad on television where a pizza company talks about how they used to do it wrong and now they want to do it right. Well, here's what we need to do, and here's what my passion is to let the American people know that, frankly, the Republican Party is the party of opportunity. We're the party that, as I mentioned earlier, believes that a kid born in the worst of circumstances should be able to pull himself out of those circumstances and be one of the most successful people in the world, including President of the United States if he or she wants to be. That's what we believe. And that's when we go forward in this debate and any other debates, that's the message that I think is important to get out. Let's quit calling each other names. Let's quit trying to use cheap shots. Let's just have a grown-up discussion and say we both, all sides of the aisle, want a successful America. We just see how to get there differently. And let's have a discussion as adults, as members of Congress, and frankly, as Americans should have a discussion. With that, I'll turn to the gentleman from Wisconsin.
And I think it's important for all of us to stand strong, stand tall, and lead, listen, communicate on this very important issue. And I know that's what we want to do here tonight, is throw out ideas, but also prepare ourselves to listen to what our constituents want, what America wants, and what's right for the country. I hear some folks on my side of the aisle talk about, if you pass a border security bill, you're going to go to conference with the Senate and you're going to adopt the Senate bill. We don't go to conference unless we agree to it. That's not going to happen. Let me be very clear. We're going to do a step-by-step approach and get a solution to immigration, and then we'll talk about going to conference if that's a pathway forward. But it's not one phase of the bill, then to conference. I got others that say, just enforce the current laws. And to those I would ask, how is that working for us? It's not working. We have to engage in this conversation and do what's right. I got one more story for you. There's a family that came from Mexico over to Arizona, and they had an opportunity to work in the mines in Superior, Arizona. Hard work, tough work, where they were Catholic. They raised a lot of kids on not a lot of money. But one of their kids, as he grew up, he learned how to make piñatas and sell those piñatas. He learned how to get fruit out of the desert, chop it up, slice it, dice it, and sell it as a delicacy within his community. A little entrepreneur. And when he got older, he had a shot to go work in the mines like his brothers, but instead he said, you know what, I want to serve my country. And he went into the military. He had a chance to serve under Ronald Reagan. And he came from a party that's not mine. But he had a chance to serve under Ronald Reagan, and he had to see what a party of opportunity had to offer him and his community and his family. He changed his vote because he said, this is who's looking out for me. This is who's looking out for my opportunity. And this is who's going to look out for my children and my grandchildren. And he went on, got married to a woman in Spain who immigrated here legally, and they had 4 kids. And I was honored enough to meet their daughter and marry her and move her to northern Wisconsin from warm Arizona, where we now have 6 children together. That's my wife's immigrant story, whose father came here as a first-generation American who worked his heart out and has his shot at the American dream. After the military, he became a school teacher, and then now he works for a university. He's living the dream. His daughter is living the dream. All of us have those stories. My parents, my great-great-grandparents came from Ireland. We all have the story of an immigrant. And I'm here to say, let's open our hearts, let's open our minds, let's have a real discussion that works. But let's also first say, secure the border so we don't deal with this again, and then do what's right by way of folks who have come here and want their shot at the American dream. And with that, I would yield to the gentleman from Colorado.
And that, Mr. Speaker, is the story of America. And I thank our colleagues for joining us tonight and look forward to this debate and look forward to hearing from you, the people of this country, as we enter this important conversation. And Mr. Speaker, I yield back my time and I move that the House do now adjourn.
The question is on the motion to adjourn.